Mr. Baba Tunde Ajayi, we meet again. Though other people know you as Tunde, I prefer to call you by your full name, Mr. Baba Tunde Ajayi.
Yes, well, dream it, believe it, become it. You know, I always say, that's my words, dream it, believe it, become it. And yes, sir, my full name, Babatunde Oluwaseun Ajayi. That's the real name.
2019, another year, starting off with a bang. Promotion, your man, Yard, Anthony Yarde against this chap, Amir. Tell us about it, please.
Yep, right fight for us. Again, for me, it's always been a case of plotting the best route, so to speak. Amir is a accomplished fighter, former European champion at light heavyweight. So this is a genuine light heavyweight. Just took Volstick the distance, the only man to do so over 12 rounds. Very experienced, been a pro for 15, 16 years. And I'm sure he learned something in that time. So, for my guy, this is a good fight. And we'll be making to look a serious statement come February the 23rd.
You've always said you're different to all other trainers. You do things your way, because there's only one Babatunde here.
Exactly.
Now, please tell me, how ready is Anthony Yarde now? How close he is to a world title shot? I think the people out there want to know.
I think we're tipping the iceberg, absolutely. Sometimes, it's like I say, sometimes I think people who are not the individual can get carried away. Sometimes the person or the people that are looking after the individual or watching over the individual may feel something. They may feel it's the right time, but the individual himself may not feel it's the right time. So for me, it's always been a case of when I feel it's time, I feel it's time. When Anthony feels it's time, it's gonna be time. And then when the both of us collectively feel that way, it's turn up, show up, blow up, lands in the camp. And Anthony's itching, absolutely. Anthony, is a very calm, calculated individual. He's a thinker more than a speaker. Well, I think I'm buttressing my Nigerian roots of being a speaker more than a thinker.
We'll come back to the Nigerian roots later, because I can't leave it without touching on that. But back to Anthony Yarde for the moment.
Yes.
Is there a sense of frustration that a lot of British boxers appear to be ducking your prodigy? Or is it a case of you don't care because you're going to get to where you need to get to anyway? Do you think they're ducking it because they're scared?
No, I think, listen, Anthony said it. One thing you never have to worry about, me and Anthony, we're always on the same page. We have the same mindset, the same thinking, and it's quite weird because when you look at our lives, our parents' lives, it's kind of identical. So I think that I never like to use this word ducking. It's not a word you've heard us say. Like we don't even use language like that. We just believe it's destiny. If it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. You can calculate a fight as we did in Los Angeles. It never happened. The British guys, what upsets me a little bit is that you have the other party claiming we duck fights. And those guys being in very influential positions, it's like they feed the sheep and everybody listens. But I'm like, just email Tunde Ajayi. Just Instagram me and I'll give you the facts. I'll give you the truth. We never had no offer on Buatsi. The only offer we've ever had, obviously the board mandated Jose Burton and Callum Johnson. Eddie Hearn messaged me and I was like, I showed it to Anthony and I was like, they think they're smart. And I looked at the offer and that was like, Uncle, come, let's fight this fight. Goes, I'm ready to knock this brother out. And I'm like, sorry, he didn't talk like that. But he said, let's take the fight. And I'm like, Ant, relax. We're on a journey here. And we're not playing second fiddle to anybody. The ball is in our court. We make the decisions. We have the control over our own career. And if that fight is to take place at a later date, then so be it. But you are not going to tell Baba Tunde Ajayi and Anthony Yarde went to fight. It don't work like that. We're not promoted by you, so you can't tell me. The only man close enough to tell me that is Frank Warren, standing over there.
I'll tell you why I'm actually having a little giggle here. It's because,
Yes,
as far as I can remember,
yes.
you mentioned your man obviously is a lion. Now, why would a lion be scared of sheep?
It doesn't even make sense. Come on, sometimes again I have to think because I don't want to give these guys a platform because it's obvious we're doing something right because they jump on interviews and call our name. You know, one I could speak about now who's retired is Frank Bugaloni. He spoke, he talked, then you lose, and then you end your career.
He never even made it to you.
Didn't even made it. So again, it shows that one must be very careful how they focus on other individuals. One should focus on themselves, their career, and being the best they can be. That's what me and Anthony have done from the beginning, and we're going to continue to do that. If along the way, it so happens that one of these guys, but nobody goes from an elevated status of a WBO #1 or IBF #1 and then goes back and fights for a British title. It doesn't make no sense. When Liam Smith was world champion, the British champions were calling him out. He's like, why am I coming that down? Who does it? Nobody. So I think it's just a bit of hype that you would ask somebody to come from this height and go back down to that height. You're just trying to sell something that's not there. That's like an Arthur Daly move. We know about those moves. Where we come from. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, it's good fun. But on a serious note, this is going how the way we say it's going. It's not going by the way a man coming on flash suits. You see me today.
I was just about to say, talking about which, you're looking really smart, sir.
You see me. Listen, sometimes, most times I'm Batman, but today I thought I'd be Bruce Wayne. You know, and I can play the role.
Proper swagger there, sir.
So yeah, it's all fun and, you know, fun and games aside. 23rd of February is a very serious assignment, as you said. Amir is no pushover, you know, and we're looking forward to it. Anyone who's seen me and Anthony, we always have fun, and because we just believe that fighting is only on one night. You don't need to push up your face and have a stiff face 364 days of the year. You know, fun is important. There has to be that element, and then when it's fight night, you will see a different type of animals in Anthony and in me.
Now, let's talk about home,
Yes.
as in Nigeria.
Yes.
I caught you saying earlier on that Daddy,
Yes.
your father,
Yes.
is an accountant. So which means there's nobody who's going to manage your money for you, sir.
You know, sometimes, you know, I think maybe that's what the frustration is. The frustration is that I can see what they're doing, what the opposite side are doing, and I can see the moves they're playing, very calculated moves, you know, to try and make us knock on a door when we're not ready to knock on that door yet. I can see it as business, very smart, strategic. My father's accountant, a chartered accountant. I worked as a VAT controller for some time and doing people's accounts. And Eddie, I don't think Eddie Hearn ever got to that stage, but his dad is an accountant.
Good Lord, you even have an apprentice on the job.
so you see, yeah, you know. No matter where we both start, myself and Eddie, he's very good at his job, and a lot of it is to do with the reaction of the people. But you're dealing with a businessman here, as well as a family man, a joker, a friend, a brother, you know, and somebody who Anthony has entrusted to take care of him, that side, you know, and I'm just gonna. Anthony knows I'm stubborn. I'm not gonna make fights for him what other people want just because fans are calling him out. They've got to be the right fight for him because boxing is a career where if you do it properly, you have a 10-year career.
As a Nigerian, as a fellow Nigerian, I wouldn't say you're stubborn. You just stick to your principles. That's what it is.
Yes.
You don't let others dictate to you.
Yes, and money can't change me. You can't wave notes in my face or or anything and make me change my mind. Once my mind is set, that's what it's going to be. And I think it's best that you just let things happen naturally. You know, who thought Broner would have fought Pacquiao? You ever saw that fight coming?
No one did.
No one. But it happened. So one is up to one if what they decide. If they believe that there's a bigger power and control of everything, which I do, your job is just to play your part and do the best you can do, and hopefully it will be what you want it to be.
Let's change a little bit.
Yes.
Let's come back to that subject of Nigeria.
Yes.
Please share with me what part, in terms of discipline, did your parents, what role did they play in what you are today?
Well, one of the reasons why I'm different from a lot of my Nigerian counterparts and friends is because of my dad's treatment when he was growing up by his father. And you know, a lot of our parents are disciplinarians. You know, my dad never hit me, which in a Nigerian household is...
It's very strange.
it's like Doctor Who. You understand what I'm saying? My dad showed me what to do and what to be by being that himself. And that's how I operate. And I think that because of my dad's way and his experience, he never wanted to, you know, reprimand his children by beating them and things like that. I'm just different, you know. And my dad, everybody knows, I hold my dad in high esteem. And I do anything for my dad. You know, and even as a young man, you know, you usually hear everybody always talking about their mother. But it's my dad. It's my dad. This man is the greatest man I know. And he's never changed his Nigerian roots. He would go to the compound.
I haven't heard that in a while. We're used to hearing here, yard.
Yeah, he would go to the compound. He would eat his eba. As long as he's got his food, he's content. He will buy the wife, car, best clothes. He just wants his food.
How do you feel when you go to visit Nigeria?
I feel honored, you know, and funny enough, you know, Yoruba, I never learned Yoruba. And my dad always says it's his fault. My mum says
It's not too late though.
it's not. It's never too late.
I know there's a school in London here where they give Yoruba lessons.
Okay.
Perhaps we need to enroll you there.
But I don't see it as a negative because, you know, some people think that because you're Nigerian, they just start talking Yoruba and then Bob's your uncle. No, I don't want that. This is what I'm trying to say. There's a reason why. And I can't remember many Nigerians being in this position in British boxing.
Question for you. We know that. I never were to ask you about Anthony Yarde. You would tell me he's a phenomenal boxer and that. I get that. But the question I have for you is, apart from him, in the general boxing world, which boxer right now has caught your age, has got your attention? Which one right now?
I'm going to say this, and I've said it many times, not of recent times, but I honestly can look you in the eyes and say the only boxer I pay attention to is Anthony Yarde. I ain't looking at nobody. I deal with what's in front of me. What would I look like studying another person? That's not helping me, and that's not helping Anthony. My job is to do my best to teach Anthony certain moves, you know, that's going to make him a better fighter. And I just don't personally think you can do that by watching the competition. If you're going to change anything, it's always got to be yourself. I ain't watching no one. And I mean that. I don't watch nobody. I catch highlights. When Anthony's faced with an opposition, I have to look at the opponent. But there's no extensive study or nothing like that because it's really not going to change. How many times have you heard fighters say, we prepared for one game plan and on the night you come with something different?
It's got to be a plan B, C and D.
So the plan B, C and D is to prepare your fighter to be the best. And on that note, Anthony Yarde is the only person I focus on.
One last question.
Yes.
Would you like to, at some stage, in your, I know you still got a young training career by your standards. Would you like to find a Nigerian or African boxer and manage them to a world title?
Well, this is again. Some people might take this the wrong way. I want to find a good boxer. I think when you start limiting yourself, you start getting into that oh, I'm here, I'm there. We're human beings. This isn't. You can isolate yourself, but just because a person is Nigerian or a person is Indian or a person is Chinese, does that make them good? I want a person that can do the job. If Anthony's not Nigerian. If a person who is from the same heritage as me and shares the same culture as me, listen to me,
And has the same work ethic as you.
work ethic of me, then nothing will make me more happier. I went to Nigeria in 2017, and if any Nigerian people are watching this interview, I don't like the way I was treated. You treat me like I was no one. Well, guess what? I was no one. But the thing is that there was one fighter who recognized me, and he's in training with Ronnie Shields now. Him and the brother.
Ronnie Shields.
Yeah, what's the two Nigerian boys in America at the moment? They're doing very well. They're both unbeaten. The other one, he had a fight. I remember the guy came into the ring and then he just turned around and left. I don't know whether you saw that, but he recognized me.
Oh, I saw that because obviously there was some dispute with his contract.
Yes, yeah. He recognized me, and he said to me, "Hey, Uncle, I'm sorry. They don't know who you are," and that upset me. So I'm saying that I have to be somebody for you to acknowledge who I am.
Sorry, I'm cutting you, but I need to shed some light in this because I want to get this clear in my mind. The way they treated you in terms of your profession, not in terms of your general reception in Nigeria.
My profession and the reception, because my uncle brought me to the Olympic Stadium and he introduced me. They were just... It wasn't until the second day, I think the coach who was taking over showed me around the gym, and he said that we're trying to do a lot of stuff, and you will be welcome to come back. So that was good. But my initial, supposing I never ever came back the next day, because
They've already made the wrong impression.
They've already made the wrong impression. I feel that people should always treat people with respect, and when outsiders come inside, you should make them feel welcome. So that's something for the team.
No, I wasn't there, but I'm just I want to ask you this question. Do you think it's because they already know what you're about and they might have seen you as a threat in terms of coaching?
Well, listen, anybody who thinks another person is a threat ain't doing their job. I'm here to help. I'm here to share knowledge. And if they did know anything about me, they know I'm just not about that. They would know that I'm a person that shares the knowledge, and willing to help. For over 20 years, I've done this for free. And I've just wanted to share, because it's something different what I'm bringing. The way I teach boxing, the methodology I have, the system I have is totally different than anything that's come before. So if anything, they should have looked at it from that perspective and said, you know what, let's listen and see what this guy's got to offer. But it's okay. I'm a forgiving person. It's part of my life. So
I can't leave you without asking you to do that chant for me. Lions in the what?
Not now. Lions in the camp. Okay. Lions in the camp. Lions in the camp.
That's sufficient for me. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Boom.